Have you ever felt like there's something more waiting for you just beyond your current life, but you can't quite put your finger on it? That quiet discomfort, that persistent unease. It's not an accident. It's your soul calling, asking you to step away from the life you've known and into something far more authentic. In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 signs that you're on the brink of the most profound transformation of your life. From the unsettling restlessness that urges you to look inward to the painful yet powerful process of letting go of the old version of yourself, these signs are your soul's roadmap to becoming who you were always meant to be. Each moment of discomfort, every unanswered question, and all the uncertainty you feel are not obstacles, but invitations to awaken to a truer path. But why should you watch this video until the end? Because what you're about to learn isn't just about transformation. It's about reclaiming your power, your purpose, and the authentic life that awaits you. You'll discover how the pain of release, the awakening of intuition, and questioning the script of your life are all steps toward becoming whole. Trust me, you don't want to miss the final sign. It's the key to living in alignment with your soul. Stay with me to learn how to navigate this profound journey of self-discovery. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Sign 1. The call to awakening. Have you ever felt that deep, unsettling stir within you? That quiet but persistent discomfort that you can't shake off, no matter how much you try to distract yourself? It's like a whisper, a gentle tug, urging you to look within to pay attention to something far more important than the world around you. This isn't just random chaos or some fleeting feeling. It's your soul calling you to evolve. That internal restlessness you feel is not something to ignore, but something to embrace. It's the universe, with all its wisdom, gently nudging you toward change, toward a new chapter in your life. You may think that the discomfort is a coincidence, but deep down, you know better. Life's subtle disruptions, whether it's the loss of something or someone, a sense of confusion, or just a general unease, are not mistakes. They are the universe's way of guiding you to look inward, to question everything you've believed to be true about your life so far. It's as if the universe is asking you, are you truly living for yourself, or are you just going through the motions? As Carl Jung so profoundly said, those who look outward dream. Those who look inward awaken. And here you are right at this very moment, not by coincidence, but by divine design. This is the beginning of your awakening. You are being called to leave behind a life that no longer serves you, a life that perhaps once seemed comfortable, but now feels constricting, suffocating, even. It's a wake-up call to step away from the familiar, from what feels safe but stagnant, and to seek out the authenticity buried deep within you. It's time to rediscover who you truly are, not who you've been conditioned to be. Trust me, this is not the universe's random chaos. It's your soul's demand for transformation. The stirring inside of you is not to be feared, but to be embraced. It's the beginning of your journey toward a life that is truer to who you are at your core. Don't ignore it. Lean into it. The path ahead may be uncertain, but the only way to find the peace and fulfillment you've been craving is to follow that inner call. Trust that it will lead you to something beautiful and true. Sign 2. The pain of letting go. There comes a time in everyone's life when transformation begins with an undeniable, often painful loss. It's not just the loss of things, people, or circumstances, but the loss of parts of yourself that you once thought were permanent parts that were carefully constructed to fit into the world's expectations to meet the demands of others. You may have spent years building an identity that at some point felt comfortable and safe. But slowly, you begin to realize that this version of yourself, the one shaped by outside influences, no longer serves you. It no longer fits. It's like trying to wear clothes that are too tight, too constricting. And though they once felt like a perfect fit now, they suffocate you. The pain of letting go comes from the very essence of release. It requires you to give up what is familiar, even if that familiarity was only ever superficial. You may have conformed to a life that didn't fully satisfy you because you thought it was what you were supposed to do, what would make others happy, or what would make you appear successful. Letting go of that false version of yourself, even when it's painful, is a necessary part of the process. It's not just about saying goodbye to old habits or old relationships. It's about saying goodbye to the illusions you've clung to for so long. And it hurts. Oh, how it hurts. The pain of shedding the skin of who you were, who you thought you had to be, is raw, but it is also necessary. It's as if you're losing a part of yourself that you thought was your truth. But in reality, it's not your truth. Your true self has been silenced, buried beneath layers of conformity, of trying to please, of being something you were never meant to be. But here's the incredible part. This loss is not the end. No, it is the very birthplace of your true self. When you strip away the layers that no longer serve you, you begin to uncover the authentic version of yourself that has always been there, waiting patiently to be acknowledged. This is where the magic happens. This is where you find the voice that was silenced for so long, the voice that has always known who you truly are and what you truly need. You can't ignore this inner voice anymore. It's louder now, more insistent. Your soul is demanding authenticity, and you are finally ready to listen. It's no longer about pleasing others or seeking approval. It's about embracing your truth, however painful that may be. It's time to let go of what doesn't serve you anymore and step into the life that is calling you. Yes, it's painful, but it's also liberating. You are shedding the old, untrue version of yourself to make room for the person you were always meant to become. Sign 3. The urgency of the soul's voice. There comes a moment in your life when a strange feeling creeps in, an anxiety that you can't explain, a sadness without cause, or a gnawing sense that something is missing, as though a part of you is calling out, but you can't hear it. It's unsettling, isn't it? You feel like you should be content, that everything should be in its place, but inside something is stirring, urging you to listen. That feeling isn't random or something to be ignored. It's the voice of your soul insisting on growth, on evolution, on the next phase of your journey. And though it's uncomfortable, it's also deeply important. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming whole, helps explain this sensation. Your inner force, the part of you that has been quietly simmering beneath the surface, is now pushing to break through the layers you've built over the years. These layers were necessary once, but they no longer serve you. They're crumbling away, and with them, the people, places, and goals that once held meaning for you are starting to lose their grip. Things that defined your life, your purpose, your identity, are no longer providing the fulfillment they once did. You might even feel a little lost, wondering what it all means, as if your old world is falling apart around you. But here's the thing, it's not destruction. It may feel like it, but it's a rebirth. This is a symbolic death, the shedding of everything that no longer resonates with your true self. You're not losing, you're evolving. You're being reformed into something more authentic, more aligned with your soul's purpose. Yes, it's terrifying. I won't sugarcoat it. It feels like standing on the edge of an abyss, looking down into the unknown. But at the same time, it's liberating. This is the moment when you realize that the things that once held you back, fear, conformity, and external expectations, are no longer your masters. You are standing at the threshold of a life that is finally yours to create. It's a life rooted in truth, honesty, and connection. A life where you no longer feel the need to pretend to fit into a box that wasn't made for you. You might feel overwhelmed by the change, by the newness, by the discomfort. But in that discomfort, there is freedom. You are about to step into a more connected, more vibrant version of yourself. A version that feels true, that resonates with every cell of your being. And that is something worth embracing, even if it's terrifying. Because the urgency you're feeling, that quiet but insistent call of your soul, is urging you toward the life you've always been meant to live. The life that's waiting for you just beyond the fear. Sign 4. Disconnecting from the past. There's a strange feeling that creeps in when you begin to evolve, a sense that you no longer belong in the places or with the people that once felt like home. It's like standing in a room full of familiar faces, but somehow feeling like an outsider in your own life. The relationships that once filled you with comfort now seem distant, like memories that no longer resonate with the present you're becoming. At first, this disconnection might feel painful, like rejection or loss. But in truth, it's not rejection at all. It's the natural process of shedding what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. This disconnection is essential for your transformation. It's a necessary part of your journey, a sign that you are ready to let go of the people, places, and routines that have been holding you back. As Jung's concept of individuation teaches us, this process of letting go is not about losing yourself, but about reclaiming the parts of you that have been buried, suppressed, or ignored for far too long in the name of fitting in. It's about reconnecting with your true essence, the part of you that got lost in the shuffle of trying to please others or conform to expectations. It's painful, yes, but in this rupture lies your freedom. You are not losing yourself. You are simply shedding the false versions of yourself that were never meant to stay. In this space of disconnection, you are permitting yourself to come alive again. You're not walking away from your past. You're stepping into the future that has always been calling you. And in doing so, you're reclaiming who you were always meant to be. Sign 5, embracing the void. Now comes the part of the journey that feels the most unsettling, yet the most powerful, the void. It's an emptiness that hangs heavy in the air, a space that feels like a crisis. But in truth, it is not a crisis at all. This emptiness is not a sign of something wrong, but a sacred space for your rebirth. You may feel like you're walking through life blindly, not knowing exactly where you're headed or what's next. It's like you're in between worlds, no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. And this, my friend, is exactly where you need to be. In the discomfort of the void, your soul is planting invisible seeds for growth. You may not see them sprouting yet, but trust that they are there, quietly developing beneath the surface. The temptation is to resist, to panic, to try to fill the emptiness with distractions or old patterns that no longer serve you. But I urge you to resist that urge, because resisting transformation only prolongs the pain. Surrendering to the void, to the unknown, is what will finally allow you to flow. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You never need to know everything. What matters is that you trust what you feel, even if it doesn't make logical sense. The discomfort you feel is not something to avoid. It's holy ground. It's the fertile soil where your authentic self begins to take shape. This is the moment when you stop looking to external forces for validation and instead turn inward to live from a place of deep trust. The void is not empty at all. It's filled with the potential for your next chapter. And in this sacred space, you are free to become who you've always been meant to be, unencumbered by the noise of the world or the expectations of others. Trust that this space, though uncomfortable, is where the magic happens. Sign 6, questioning the script. There comes a moment in every journey of self-discovery when you begin to ask yourself, why am I chasing this? And more importantly, who am I doing this for? The things you once pursued so fervently. Success, approval, recognition suddenly start to feel hollow, like a race you didn't even sign up for. You look around and realize that the goals you've been striving toward weren't truly your own. They were inherited expectations, stories handed down by society, family, or even the culture you grew up in. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. It's a profound realization, one that can shake you to your core. For years, you've been running after something, believing that if you reached it, you would feel whole, validated, or seen. But as you peel back the layers of your life, you begin to understand that these pursuits were never born of your soul's desires. They were simply shoulds, the expectations you were conditioned to follow without ever questioning them. And suddenly, they lose their grip on you. The chase for external validation no longer holds the same power. As Jung wisely said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This is the diet of the soul, where the truths we've ignored or suppressed for years finally come to light. It's the moment when you must confront the lies and the illusions, the false beliefs you've carried about success, worth, and fulfillment. But rather than feeling afraid or defeated, this realization offers you the most powerful gift, the opportunity to live a life that is authentically yours. This is the moment when you stop living by someone else's script. You begin to recalibrate your internal compass, shifting away from external markers of success and tuning into the deep, soul-driven desires that have always been quietly whispering to you. It's about loyalty to yourself, finally choosing your path, your truth, your desires. No longer are you bound by the expectations that were never yours. You're breaking free from the life that was written for you, and you're stepping into the one you've always been meant to create. Yes, it's scary to question the script you've been following for so long, but in doing so, you're liberating yourself from the chains of other people's dreams and creating space for your own. You're no longer chasing the applause of others. You're choosing to live a life that resonates with your heart, your soul, and your deepest purpose. And there's nothing more powerful than that. Sign 7, Awakening Intuition. As you move further along your path of self-discovery, a profound shift begins to occur. A shift that can't be explained by logic or reason. It's the awakening of something far deeper, your intuition. At first, it might feel subtle, almost imperceptible. You may notice a quiet but undeniable inner knowing, a sense of clarity or certainty that emerges even in moments of uncertainty. It's as if your mind, once ruled by external expectations and logical analysis, is finally making space for something more profound, something that speaks directly from the heart and soul. This awakening is a powerful sign that you are no longer merely reacting to life. You are beginning to create it. Your intuition, once ignored or drowned out by the noise of the world, now becomes your guiding force. It's the still voice inside you that knows the right decisions, the right paths, even when the world outside is loud with confusion. Where once you may have looked for validation, approval, or guidance from others, you now trust yourself in ways you never have before. You start to feel certain about choices, not because they make sense on paper, but because your soul recognizes their truth. Jung's wisdom becomes more relevant than ever. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakens. The more you listen to your intuition, the clearer your path becomes. You start to feel more aligned with yourself, and the fear that once held you back starts to dissolve, replaced with a profound sense of knowing. You no longer need to seek approval from the world. Your inner compass is all you need. You trust your feelings even when they go against conventional wisdom because you know they are leading you towards something more meaningful, more authentic. This isn't just about making decisions based on a gut feeling. It's about aligning with your soul's deeper truths. You begin to live more authentically guided not by external markers of success, but by the quiet, confident voice within. It's the moment when you stop questioning your choice because you realize that the only voice that matters is your own. Awakening your intuition is not just about listening to your heart, it's about honoring it. You become attuned to your wisdom, your desires, and your own needs. In doing so, you step into a life of greater alignment, clarity, and purpose. No longer are you bound by the expectations of others or by fear. You are finally free to live from your true self, and in doing so, you find peace, joy, and a deep sense of fulfillment. The journey of awakening is one of deep inner listening, and in the quiet, you find the power to create the life you've always dreamed of. Sign 1, the call to awakening. Have you ever felt that deep, unsettling sense that something is shifting within you? Something you can't quite put into words? It's like a quiet restlessness, an unease that gnaws at the edges of your mind. It's not just random chaos. It's the universe calling you, signaling that your soul is ready to evolve. Life's disruptions, whether it's the loss of something or someone, confusion about where you're headed, or a pervasive discontent with the status quo, aren't mere accidents. They are invitations, gentle nudges from the universe urging you to look inward. Carl Jung's words, "Those who look outward dream, those who look inward awaken," resonate deeply in this moment. You may have been caught up in the rush of life chasing goals that didn't feel truly yours, or living a life defined by the expectations of others. But now, you're at a crossroads. The universe is calling you to pause, to step away from the familiar, and to seek the path that resonates with your authentic self. This isn't just a phase, it's the beginning of a transformation. You are being nudged away from a life that no longer fits and drawn toward a deeper understanding of who you are, what you truly need, and what your soul has always been craving. It's time to awaken, to look within, and discover the truth of who you are. Sign 2, the pain of letting go. Transformation is never easy. It begins with the loss of the illusions you once clung to, of identities that you shaped to fit into the world, and of certainties that once provided comfort. Letting go of what you thought defined you can be painful. It feels like the ground is slipping away beneath your feet. The version of yourself that you crafted to please others, to fit in, to meet expectations, suddenly feels absurd, hollow even. You may have spent years wearing that mask, playing a role, and convincing yourself that it was who you were supposed to be. But as you begin to evolve, that version of yourself becomes suffocating. You can't ignore the stirrings of your soul any longer. It's a painful process to shed that mask, to release the identity you thought was your truth. But in this shedding lies the birth of your true self, the part of you that was silenced for so long in the pursuit of external validation. This part of you has been waiting patiently for the moment when it would finally be allowed to emerge. That inner stirring. It's not just a feeling. It's your soul demanding authenticity. It's pushing you toward a life that feels real, that aligns with who you were always meant to be. You can no longer hide from it. Letting go may feel like a loss, but it's the gateway to your true self. It's time to stop conforming to the world's expectations and start living a life that honors your soul's deepest desires. Yes, it's painful, but it's also the most liberating thing you can do. Because on the other side of that pain, you'll find the real you, the person you've been meant to become all along. Sign 3. The urgency of the soul's voice. There are moments in life when an inexplicable anxiety or an unshakable sadness begins to surface, creeping in like a storm cloud you can't outrun. It's a sense of discomfort that doesn't seem to have an obvious cause, yet you feel it deeply in your bones. This feeling is more than just a fleeting emotion. It's a signal from your soul that can no longer be ignored. It's your inner voice, that quiet yet powerful force within you, demanding attention. The soul has always had its desires, its needs, and when those needs are not being met, it starts to make itself heard louder and louder until you can no longer brush it aside. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the journey toward becoming whole, helps explain this sensation. It's the moment when your inner force begins to reclaim its space, pushing against the limitations that have defined you for so long. You may start to notice that old goals, the ones you once pursued with so much passion, no longer bring you joy. People and places that once felt meaningful start to fade into the background, losing their hold on you. Your world, as you've known it, begins to dismantle piece by piece as the old constructs crumble to make room for something truer, something more aligned with your soul's deepest purpose. It can feel like everything is falling apart, like the very foundation of your life is shaking. But this is not destruction, it is rebirth. What you're experiencing is a symbolic death of the parts of your life that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. It is an essential shedding of outdated beliefs, relationships, and goals that once defined you, but no longer serve your growth. While the process may seem unsettling, even terrifying at times, it is ultimately liberating. You are being freed from the constraints of your past, from the person you thought you had to be, and making way for the true you to emerge. This is not the end, it's the beginning of your soul's authentic journey. The sadness, the anxiety, the discomfort, it's all a part of this powerful process of transformation. Your soul is breaking free, ready to step into the life it has always dreamed of, and in doing so, it is finally becoming whole. Sign 4. Disconnecting from the past. Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own life? Like the very spaces that once gave you comfort, the familiar routines, the relationships, even the places that felt like home no longer fit you. It's as though you've outgrown them, or perhaps they've outgrown you. You may find yourself feeling detached from the people who once meant everything, and the things that used to bring you joy now seem distant and foreign. And it's confusing because on some level, you still feel a pull toward these things, these people, and yet something deep within tells you they can't follow you into the future. This sense of disconnection isn't rejection, it's a necessary release. You are shedding the versions of yourself that you created to fit into the world, to please others, to survive. Jung's concept of individuation calls for the release of these inauthentic selves, the masks you wore to meet external expectations. These masks may have served you once, but they no longer align with the person you're becoming. And though it may feel like a painful rupture, like you're breaking away from everything you once knew, what's happening is a process of integration. This disconnection is not about loss. It's about reconnecting with the part of you that was buried, the part that was suppressed in the name of fitting in or surviving. It's the part of you that has been waiting to emerge, the true version of yourself that was always there, but was hidden beneath layers of expectations and conditioning. You are stepping into a new, authentic future, one where you no longer feel the need to conform to what others think you should be. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's unsettling. The people, places, and things that once felt so familiar may now feel like distant memories, and that can be heartbreaking. But in reality, you're not losing anything. You're reclaiming your true self. You're breaking free from the chains of the past, stepping into a future where you can finally live as the person you were always meant to be. You are no longer tethered to the version of yourself that was shaped by others. You are reconnecting with the person inside who has always known what it means to live authentically. This disconnection, though painful, is the birth of your freedom. Sign 5, embracing the void. Have you ever felt like you're walking through life without a map, stumbling in the dark, unsure of where you're headed? It's a terrifying yet profoundly transformative experience. This feeling of emptiness, of not knowing what comes next, may seem like a crisis at first. It may feel like you're floating in a vast, uncharted space with nothing to hold on to. But in reality, this emptiness isn't a void to fear, it's a sacred womb for rebirth. You're being given the space to truly be without the distractions, without the external noise, without the constant pressure of the world's expectations. In this space, alone with yourself, you learn to trust your inner world, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition over what you see or hear from others. It's a profound shift, learning to let go of what you thought you needed to survive and surrendering to the unknown. This void is where your soul plants seeds for growth. These seeds are invisible to the eye, yet they are potent, bursting with the potential for new life. They are growing deep within, beneath the surface, ready to burst forth when the time is right. Resisting this space, resisting the discomfort of not knowing, only prolongs the pain. But if you surrender, if you allow yourself to sit in this uncertainty and let go of the need for answers, you will find that flow begins to emerge. The discomfort of the void isn't something to avoid. It is holy ground. It is where your authentic self begins to form free from the expectations that others have placed upon you. In this space, you are being reborn not into a version of yourself that fits the world's mold, but into a truer, more honest version of who you are meant to be. The void is not empty. It is the fertile ground where your soul can finally grow and flourish. Sign 6, questioning the script. At some point, you begin to question everything you've been chasing. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? You start to realize that much of your life has been spent chasing external markers of success, approval, recognition, validation from others. These things, once thought to be the ultimate goal, lose their meaning. You find yourself wondering why these pursuits, which once felt so important, now feel hollow. It's as though you've been running a race toward a finish line that no longer matters. Jung's insight. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious speaks directly to this moment. It's about facing the uncomfortable truths you've long avoided. It's about looking at the darkness, those parts of yourself you've ignored, those desires you've suppressed, and making them conscious. This is the turning point where you stop living according to the script that others have written for you. The script that says you need to achieve certain things, live a certain way, and meet certain standards to be valued. You begin to reject those inherited expectations and recalibrate your compass to follow something deeper, something truer. This is the moment when you commit to living for yourself, not for anyone else. You are learning to tune into your soul-driven desires, the things that light you up from within, and to follow those desires with conviction. You're breaking free from the chains of external validation and stepping onto a path that is truly your own. It's scary, it's uncertain, but it's also incredibly freeing. You are no longer living for the approval of others or seeking recognition from the outside world. Instead, you are learning to trust yourself, to listen to your own heart, and to follow your unique path. This is the beginning of your true liberation, the moment when you stop questioning your worth and start living according to the truth of who you are. Sign 7, living from intuition. There comes a powerful moment in your journey when your intuition awakens an inner knowing, quiet, yet undeniable, that guides you through life in ways you never thought possible. It doesn't speak in words, but in sensations, in a deep, unshakable certainty that feels right in your bones. For so long, you may have been ruled by logic, by the rational demands of the world. You've made decisions based on what makes sense on paper, what others expect, and what feels safe. But now, something inside you shifts. Your intuition, once drowned by the noise of the outside world, rises to the surface louder, clearer, guiding you with an inner wisdom that transcends all the logic you once clung to. At first, it may feel subtle, a whisper, in moments of calm, or an uneasy feeling when you're around certain people or situations. You begin to notice that your body often affirms decisions before your mind even has time to process. It's in the way your chest feels lighter when you make a choice that feels true, or how a sense of discomfort floods you when something isn't right. You realize that these feelings are not coincidences, they are your soul's way of communicating with you. For so long, ignoring that inner voice has cost you peace. You've made choices that, in hindsight, weren't aligned with your true self, and those decisions have left you feeling drained, disconnected, and uncertain. But now trusting that quiet voice, letting it lead you, is what brings you freedom. It's as if a weight is lifted from your shoulders every time you choose to live from your soul's center, rather than from the expectations or pressures of the world. When you start living from this truth, everything begins to align. Your relationships feel more authentic, your actions feel purposeful, and your energy flows with a new sense of ease. You stop reacting to the world around you with fear or uncertainty. Instead, you start creating from a place of deep coherence and peace. Every decision you make, every relationship you nurture, every path you walk, it all begins to feel like it's flowing from the very core of who you are. This is the power of living from intuition. It's no longer about trying to fit into the world. It's about creating a life that fits you. It's about aligning your actions, your energy, and your relationships with the wisdom that has always been there waiting for you to trust it. And once you do, you begin to realize that the world is not something you have to react to. It's something you have the power to create from a place of deep truth and alignment with your soul. So, what have we learned together today? From the call to awakening to the freedom of living intuitively, each of these signs marks a pivotal moment in your journey of transformation. The path may not always be easy, but it is a powerful one filled with opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and a deeper connection to your true self. The journey of awakening is one of shedding old skins, embracing the void of the unknown, and ultimately learning to trust the quiet yet undeniable guidance of your intuition. I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned today that you feel ready to bring into your life? Maybe it's the courage to question the script you've been following, or the strength to release what no longer serves you. Whatever it is, share it with us in the comments below. Your journey is unique, and your experiences can inspire others. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please leave your comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a video that can help you on your journey toward living a more authentic, fulfilling life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.